Biosafety and biosecurity, as they are both critical fields in the protection of health, the environment, and biodiversity. Biosafety. Biosafety involves protective measures to ensure the safety of individuals, communities, and the environment when handling biological materials such as pathogens, microorganisms, or genetically modified organisms. These materials can pose significant risks if not handled properly, potentially leading to contamination, accidents, or diseases. Key aspects of biosafety: containment levels, biosafety levels, BSL refer to the level of precautions that must be taken when handling biological agents in laboratories. There are 4 levels, each representing increasing severity of safety requirements. BSL SIL 1, basic containment, used for agents that do not cause disease in healthy adults, e.g. coli. BSL 2, used for agents that pose moderate hazards, e.g. HIV, salmonella. BSL 3, for agents that may cause serious or lethal diseases through inhalation, e.g. tuberculosis, anthrax. BSL 4, the highest level for life-threatening agents with no available vaccines or treatments, e.g. Ebola, smallpox. Physical containment and equipment: laboratory safety equipment, lab coats, gloves, face shields, and eye protection. Biosafety cabinets, specially designed hoods or workstations that protect both the handler and the environment by providing containment during biological procedures. Blues, autoclaves, high-pressure steam sterilizers that are used to sterilize equipment and biological waste to prevent the spread of pathogens. Personal protective equipment, PPE. PPE is crucial to biosafety protocols, protecting workers from biological risks. This includes gloves, masks, lab coats, and respirators, depending on the level of biosafety required. Disinfection and waste disposal. Proper sterilization techniques such as autoclaving or chemical disinfection ensure that contaminated materials are properly treated before disposal. Biological waste, including used cultures or animal remains, is typically disposed of by incineration or through controlled waste management systems. Training and procedures. Biosafety also involves educating individuals about proper lab techniques, handling hazardous materials, and emergency response plans. Standard operating procedures (SOP) for all processes involving hazardous biological materials ensure consistency and safety in daily operation. Of biosafety in practice. In a laboratory setting, researchers working with genetically modified organisms, GMO, would follow biosafety protocols to avoid contamination of the environment and minimize the risk of unintended genetic changes that could harm ecosystems. Healthcare workers in hospitals handling patients with infectious diseases like tuberculosis or COVID-19 follow biosafety guidelines to prevent the spread of pathogens. Biosecurity. Biosecurity refers to the measures designed to prevent the intentional or unintentional introduction, release, or spread of harmful biological agents. While biosafety focuses on protecting individuals and environments from biological hazards, biosecurity is primarily concerned with preventing biological threats from being exploited for malicious purposes or accidentally escaping into the environment. Key aspects of biosecurity: protection against biological threats, intentional release. Biosecurity protocols are essential to prevent the intentional misuse of biological agents, including through bioterrorism or biowarfare. This could involve the release of dangerous pathogens to harm people, animals, or crops. Unintentional release. Biosecurity also prevents the unintentional release of genetically modified organisms, GMO, plant pathogens, or other harmful microorganisms from research institutions, laboratories, or agricultural sites. Surveillance and monitoring. Monitoring systems for biological threats are crucial in detecting any potential breaches, unusual biological activity, or outbreaks of infectious diseases. Surveillance can take place at the level of individual farms, research labs, national borders, and public health systems. Early detection is key to preventing biological threats from spreading. Regulatory measures. Import-export regulations. Biosecurity protocols govern the movement of biological agents across borders. This includes strict control over the importation and exportation of organisms and biological materials, ensuring that they are not misused or inadvertently introduced into foreign ecosystems. Quarantine measures. When dealing with potential outbreaks of infectious diseases in animals or plants, quarantining infected regions or goods is an essential part of biosecurity. Physical security, access control. Biosecurity includes strict access controls to sensitive biological materials, such as locking doors, using biometric access systems, and monitoring who enters and exits laboratories or agricultural areas. Security systems, surveillance cameras, security guards, and alarms help prevent unauthorized access to potentially hazardous biological materials. Personnel screening. Personnel working with dangerous biological agents undergo thorough background checks to reduce the risk of insider threats. Biological pathogen management. Proper containment of biological materials in high-security environments is necessary to avoid their misuse. Laboratories handling highly dangerous pathogens are often equipped with security features such as biometric authentication and multiple layers of physical containment. Example: bioterrorism threats like anthrax or smallpox require biosecurity measures to prevent access by malicious actors. Biosafety and biosecurity convergence. While biosafety and biosecurity are distinct, they often converge in high-security biological research settings. For example, a research lab working with deadly viruses must follow both biosafety protocols to protect staff from exposure and biosecurity protocols to prevent accidental or malicious release. Conclusion: both biosafety and biosecurity are essential fields that focus on protecting people, animals, and ecosystems from the potential harm posed by biological agents. Biosafety focuses on preventing harm through safe practices when dealing with biological materials, while biosecurity aims to prevent the intentional or unintentional release or misuse of these materials, ensuring they don't cause widespread harm to human populations. Agricultural systems. Or biodiversity. Both practices are complementary and necessary for safeguarding public health, research environments, and national security.